here at Belk Arena, where the final score for the Flying Fleet today against the Lees McRae Bobcats, 71-46 victory for the Flying Fleet, who pick up number one of their 2021-22 season. Ben Otten here with Anziah Cook, who had a team-high 17 points for the sophomore Anziah Cook, who hit 5 threes. First off, Anziah, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about your day a little bit. You filled up the stat sheet in all different ways, 5 threes as well. You really carried the load for your team offensively in the second half. Just walk me through what it was like to kind of break out of a mini shooting slump here today.
I mean, it was all a team effort. You know, we all came together, and before the game, had a team talk about what we were going to do. We just made it happen.
Okay, now you go into the halftime with 20-point lead. Felt like, at least from up here, it was basically a perfect first half from your team. I mean, you guys got it done on both ends, making 10 threes in the first half, doing your thing as usual on the defensive end. What was head coach Mark Peeler talking about? I know he's been doing it for a long time, so I'm sure he was nitpicking the little things, but what was that halftime talk about?
It was basically just encouragement, all words of encouragement, how we need to keep going, you know. Just don't let down on them. Keep pushing it, keep pushing the score up, you know.
You guys certainly did that. Your final score, 71-46, Fleet over Lees McRae. 17 points from Anziah Cook. Anziah, thanks for joining us. We're going to pass the headset over to your head coach, Mark Peeler.
All right, thank you.
Been on here with Erskine head coach Mark Peeler. Coach Peeler, first off, congrats on the win. I mean, you couldn't have picked probably a more convincing way to pick up win number 1 of the season.
Yeah, I'm really happy for our players. I mean, they've been through a lot, and it has been a rough road, and we've just gotten to a point, you know, the last couple of weeks we've been saying it over and over, like they're doing everything that we're asking them to do. They're playing really good defense. They're running our offense, and they're getting the open shots. We just couldn't make any shots. And today, all of a sudden, that just decided to go the other way, and it I thought the early momentum was all that we needed. We kind of talked about that before the game. If we could get off to a better start than we had, it seemed like we were getting 6 points every quarter in the first quarter, and we were able to make some shots early, and then it just kept going, and so yeah, I'm happy for them. They deserve every bit of it.
You kind of made that change on the offensive end to just start getting up as many threes as you guys possibly could. I mean, there's some outrageous numbers the last couple of games, 3-point attempts, 40 today, which is a relatively low number for you guys. But I guess when you make so many of them, you don't get as many of them off. But it looked like today your team was running that offense a lot better, getting more consistent open looks. Just kind of, how did you feel like they've gotten more comfortable running that offense the last couple of games?
Well, I also think that we played Lees McRae last Monday, and they beat us by 20, I think 24 up there, and we turned it over 26 times. And we let that zone really bother us up there. And so we kind of walked through it before the game and just kind of walked through this is why we want to do it. And again, it doesn't really matter what you do. When you make shots, it changes everything in the game, and we just happen to make shots. So, yeah, I think, we talked about in the locker room, like if we're going to play this way and we're going to take a lot of threes, then you got to have a really bad memory, and you can't worry about the fact that you missed 2 or 3 in a row and then not take the next one. And today they didn't really need to do that because every single one of them seemed like they were going in. But yeah, I think they're getting a little bit. I mean, it's what we have to do. We don't have any size at all. And so we're playing with 5 guards on every single possession. And so, yeah, it makes it fun. It makes it hard to rebound the ball. Obviously, we had some issues down there, but they're fighting so hard for it. So,
I mean, from up here at least, you've been coaching for a long time, so I'm sure you won't say it, but from up here watching it, it looked like basically a perfect first half from you guys. You made a ton of threes, were super efficient on the offensive end. The defense didn't let up at all. Your defense has been there for pretty much all season long. But I asked Anziah this. I want to ask you, what was that halftime talk like? I mean, you guys have never really been in a position where you've been up 20 at halftime, so what did you tell your team?
Well, we said that. We said, they were cheering in the hallway back there, and I was like, hey, listen, we didn't play the first half just to win the first half. We played it to win the game. But so we didn't know we hadn't been here before. And, the last 35 games, the last 2 years, we haven't seen this opportunity. So we needed to kind of do it. Fortunately, you're right, the coach and me, we had 2 miserable possessions at the end of the half where we turned it over, and then Zaya took a really bad shot down there in the lane. And so that let me address the bad part, because other than that, you're correct. we played as well as we could have possibly played in the first half. So.
All right, head coach Mark Peeler joining us on the Flying Fleet Media Network. Once again, your final score from Belk Arena today, Erskine 71, Lees McRae 46. Ben Ott and Mark Peeler signing off on the Flying Fleet Media Network.
Thanks, Ben.